NFL 24, and we'll see DeAndre Swift. He was unstoppable a week ago with 4 touchdowns. It's the Eagles and the Hawks on Sunday night.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And he's off to a fantastic start to the season. Already 8 touchdown passes in just his first 2 weeks of the year. Now, I don't think that's a pace he's going to be able to sustain, but at the very least, he's got this offense humming here to start things out.
Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You look at this Eagle defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the number 1 overall defense in the league.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles already trailing by a touchdown early. How imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. There's a nice move. A strong running. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
What a first quarter he's been putting together. He scored the touchdown earlier, and he's in phase right out of the gate. Right now, he's playing with such confidence, he doesn't believe that they have an answer for him no matter what they do on defense. And here's another big play to prove his point.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing is Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
2nd and 10. Back with one complete.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You look at this Eagle defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
Well, this defense for the Eagles very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Walker. And some strong running. And taken down just shy of the 40. The numbers for Walker from last week's effort. 17 carries, 83 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. Now Smith. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fielded just inside the 30. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Hurts. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. On 4th down, Aaron Sipos on to punt for Philadelphia. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they've got it just 2 yards away from the end zone. They'll have it 1st and goal here from the 2-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, you go to the air.
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Come on, boys. Let's power rock.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker. Now Geno. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And taken right at the 35.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Watkins diving. He's got it. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
Devontae Smith, the intended receiver.
And it's 3rd and short.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Smith on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. To throw on second down is Smith. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
The final shot here before break, Smith.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Jalen Waddle, a touchdown catch in the victory. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week on Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try for the first with Walker, and he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. This is Smith with a grab. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield, because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have opened the lead up to 30. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two?
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this.
Play is under review.
They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
At After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Seahawks nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. It's a gain of 35.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
That second down play nets a -4.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the Seahawks 35-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
They'll look to throw. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And Smith's throw into the hands of Fan.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. There he goes, left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know. We'll
throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Here's Smith now on second down. This one into the hands of Metcalf.
And Metcalf going to have the Seahawks first down as he'll get this up to the 43.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Smith. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Talk about two sides of the ball and cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
One last throw here for Smith. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing,